Oh, hello there. I'm Bilchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you Chapter 4, Section 5 of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
As.
Ah.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Author Conan Doyle. Chapter 4, Section 5. Over the ground. On the other hand, that, and I did not wish to do it when fagged by a long journey. None at all, and was screening him or her. But I am convinced now that he is as puzzled as everyone else. He is not a very quick-witted youth, though comely to look at, and I should think cannot admire his taste. I remarked that by hangs a rather painful tale. This fellow is madly, instantly in love with her. But some 2 years ago, when he was only a lad, and before he really knew her, for she had been away 5 years at a boarding school, I married her at a registry office. No one knows a word of the matter, not doing what he would give his very eyes to do, but what he knows to be absolutely impossible. There went his father, at their last interview, was goading him on to propose to Miss Turner. On the other hand, he had no means of supporting himself, and his father, who was by all accounts a very hard man, would have thrown him over utterly had he known the truth. Bristol, and his father did not know where he was. Mark that point. It is of importance. Good has come out of evil. However, for the barmaid, finding from the papers that he is in serious trouble and likely to be hanged, as spent already in the Bermuda dockyard, so that there is really no tie between them. But if he is innocent, I would call your attention very particularly to 2 points. One is that the murdered man had an appointment with someone at the pool, and that the someone could not have been his son, for his son was away, and he did not know when he would return. That his son had returned. Those are the crucial points upon which the case depends. And now let's talk about George Meredith. If you please. There was no rain, as Holmes had foretold, and the morning broke bright and cloudless. At 9 o'clock Leicester called for us with the courage, and we set off for Hatherley Farm in the Boscombe pool. There is serious news this morning, Lestrade observed. It is said that Mr. Turner of the Hall, an elderly man, I presume, said Holmes, about 60, but his constitution has been shattered by his life abroad. He has been in failing health for some time. This business has had a very bad effect upon him. He is an old friend of McCarthy's, and then, I may add, a great benefactor to him. Indeed. That is interesting, said Holmes. Well, yes. In 100 other ways he has helped him. Really? Does it not strike you as a little singular that this McCarthy, who appears to have had little of his own, and to have been under such obligations to Turner, still talk of marrying his son to Turner's daughter. Who is, presumably, heiress to the estate, and that in such a very coxer manner, as if it were merely a case of a proposal and all else would follow. It is the more strange, since we know that Turner himself was averse to the idea. The daughter told us as much. We have got to the deductions and the inferences, said Lestrade, winking at me. I find it hard enough to tackle facts. Holmes. You are right, said Holmes demurely. Anyhow, replied Lestrade with some warmth. But moonshine is a brighter thing than fog, said Holmes, laughing. Yes, that is it. It was a widespread, comfortable-looking building, two-storied, slate-roofed, with great yellow patches of lichen upon the grey walls, the drawn blinds and the smokeless chimneys. However, gaveth a stricken look, as though the weight of this horror still lay heavy upon it. We called at the door, when the maid, at Holmes' request, showed us the boots which her master wore at the time of his death, and also a pair of the son's, though not the pair which he had then had. Having measured these very carefully from 7 or 8 different points, Holmes desired to be led to the courtyard, from which we all followed the winding track which led to Boscombe. Sherlock Holmes was transformed when he was hot upon such a scent as this. Phil did recognise him. His face flushed and darkened. His brows were drawn into 2 hard black lines, while his eyes shone out from beneath them with a steely glitter. His face was bent downward, his shoulders bowed, his lips compressed, and veins stood out like a cord in his long, sinewy neck. His nostrils seemed to dilate with a purely animal lust for the chase, or a mark fell unheeded upon his ears, or, at the most, only provoked a quick, impatient snarl in reply. Swiftly and silently he made his way along the track which ran through the meadows, and so by way of the woods to the Boscombe. It was damp. To be continued.